a Rasta man is a peaceful man, and he's a conscious man in the society. Sometimes people normally see us with this kind of hair and think that maybe if someone wears long hair like this or dreads, that man is a dangerous person, is not good, it doesn't fit in a community. But what I know, Rasta man is a conscious man, is a humble man. He troubles no one, yeah, but he always like to encourage peace, yeah.
Kibera is beautiful. There is a spiritual undercurrent that plays out every day in Kibera. It's the conflict between light and dark, between good and evil. Spiritually, you sense the Ephesians wrestling with principalities against darkness and wickedness in high places. Adorning the spiritual struggle is a physical patina made up of rust and mud, blood, accidents, fire, flood, and constant restoration and renewal. Recognizing the spiritual and physical elements of Kibera is critical because Solo's tools are humble. Just a can of paint and a brush. But his canvas isn't humble. It's this beautiful tapestry that's filled with hope and despair, triumph and tragedy. So it's important. This is what we need to understand about Kibera, that Kibera is Solo's canvas, both from the spiritual and physical points of view. That's what makes his art significant. As a Rastafarian and an artist, Solo was both prepared and enabled when this crisis hit. His values as a Rastafarian were deeply embedded. Preaching peace and rejecting violence are core beliefs. And as an artist, Solo earned his living taking on commercial commissions. He painted matatus and shopkeeper signs. These two humble endeavors were evident in a very soft-spoken man. The graffiti Solo created had all the earmarks of traditional political messaging. He was painting very simple messages, repeating much the same message, and placing them in strategic locations. All this with the hope of swaying opinion and to cool tempers. About how many of these do you think you may have made?
During that time, during the post-election violence, I made like about 5,000 messages, because I used to write across the tarmac road, on the bumps, on the trees, wherever was possible, I used to apply. Even there is also, I had a pet, a dog, and during that time it was hard to feed the dog because there was no shops around and food was also a problem. So I decided to write on my dog like peace wanted alive on both sides. So wherever it could go to hustle for its own food, no one could hit it with a stone.
When you walk through Kibera, you see the peace messages that Solo created, and they're everywhere. And I don't think Solo had an understanding or background in the history of political graffiti. But I know this: he aligned perfectly with the theories and strategies around political graffiti in how he approached it and executed it.
People came out in their large numbers to protest against the ruling, but in a cruel manner. Like everybody had armed himself with a weapon, a crude weapon, machetes, stones, batons, you can name them. But they were out on the streets chanting slogans, no Raila, no peace, no Raila, no peace. Some scratching machetes on the tarmac road, causing some sparks. So by that time, I was just writing like messages like, keep peace, fellow Kenyans. Peace wanted alive. Keep peace alive. Like random messages according to the way I've thought. Like, Zuia Noma, Chagua Amani. I used to mobilize those signs, and I realized by the time I was doing that, these international media and local media people, they were like concentrating on me to take some footages. And I realized that even those who are causing violence and chaos, they wanted to be caught by the media so that the rest of the nation can realize what they are feeling, you see, or to express their anger countrywide. But now the media men caught attention of me, and so these protesters realized that there's no one who is attending to them or who is paying attention to them. Then they started throwing their stones slowly, batons, and now they were the ones who are calling me, Solo, come and write here. This is a good strategic point that anyone could see it. So I mobilized those signs slowly, and they could even call me in their neighborhoods. Solo, come in our neighborhoods. We have seen all your messages just along the road, but why can't you enter into the villages? Because in the villages, it's where we come from and we live different people there. So can you bring that kind of peace in the village? Then I realized that now the messages that I wrote were creating an impact, and they gave me courage to come into the villages. Yes.
How do you feel about Kibera? Do you have a lot of hope?
Yeah, I have hope with the Kibera people, because I've been to other places, but I realized that people who are living in urban settlements or slums, these people are very much creative. I call Kibera like it's a college. It's a place of ideas. There is no idle mind within Kibera. So I believe that being in slum doesn't mean that you will live there forever being poor. You can change yourself, get out of it, or stay within and mend others also. Yeah, it's just a matter of helping one another. Yeah.
For political graffiti to be effective, Artists create simple, on-point messages. They repeat the messages over and over and place them strategically in high-traffic areas. In just a few months, Solo painted close to 5,000 messages. They were simple and direct. Most importantly, they had an effect. Solo's values and artistic skills enabled him, but courage was also needed. When the darker forces stood up in Kibera, Solo stood up too. It's possible Solo's humble protest may stand as one of the greatest artistic peace efforts in history.